All right, welcome back to SaaSx1B. It's been some time since I last talked. I think it was around 3 months ago. But yeah, this one's going to be about the joys of just like talking aimlessly, I guess, like the joys of blogging. If I get more specific. Uh, well, why I'm doing this right now? Like it has particular motives to it. It's sort of an experiment in the sense that yeah, I'll talk about it in like iterations and stuff and like everything. So I'll put a blog at the end of this as well that brings everything together. But yeah, the joys of vlogging. Uh, how do I start this? It's like serendipity as a service, right? Let's be serendipitous. Okay. So usually writing, like the things that I do, that having two blogs, having two YouTube channels and stuff. I created these streams so that I could log my stream of thought. Uh, why do that though? Like this is not an intuitive thing to get behind us. Like no one feels like logging right away. It's not a natural thing that comes to one. I myself started logging in a very natural sense, like in the sense of the word logging when I was 19. Even that was pretty fabricated initially. To like truly converge onto a true style of logging, it took me some time. It took me quite a bit of time. Uh, so how that looked like then was me blogging, collecting memes from a bunch of I don't know resources like and connecting them to like what metaphysical thing I was talking about. It is a very cheesy blog. It is named as Mind Muscle Matrix. Uh, well, yeah, because why? I mean, I don't know. I was into mind stuff. I was in the gym for a while. I was a fan of The Matrix and the philosophies behind it. So yeah, that's the first cheesy name that came to mind, and that caught on. I wrote like 5 blogs for that over the course of a year. They were all bad, but yeah, they all did something. There's like they made me understand the value of writing for the sake of writing. So, and it's not just writing that I'm talking about. It's logging. When you talk about writing, you might have a certain expectations from like what you write, in the sense that you expect certain outcomes, or you expect yourself to match certain external expectations. Just like, will this be a book, or will this be a proper blog, or like will this be a good blog, or like what will people think of it, or I don't know, if you're writing well, are you improving, and that sort of stuff. With logging, it's not that. It's a decoupled way of approaching things. Uh, so you cannot just. I mean, okay. So that's like the origins of the way I started logging. How that evolved over time is I shut down that original blog because it was like it felt a little too fabricated. I mean, I matured a little to understand that I'm not doing this for anyone but myself. So I started logging in a very crude sense, in the sense that I started logging in uh, yeah, phrases and bullet points and like streams of like a scroll. It read like a scroll. The structure that you see, the reverse chronological structure that you see on my blogs these days on conway.com or on the bitmage, they're all scrolls. They're like sort of inspired by scrolls. All these different styles of like streams, like micro essays and stuff, have like sort of converged onto them after a long while. It's been what, I think 7 years since I've been blogging right now. I just turned what, 26 recently. So yeah, it's been kind of like 7 years that I've been blogging across these different modalities. And also recently I started video essays, this being sort of one of them. And this being a serendipity as a service sort of a thing, uh, it's even more interesting because my my incentives to like do these video essays are even more decoupled than what society expects of me. Some people even use these as sleep ASMR. So that's I don't know. That's I guess I don't know. It's just whatever. Uh, but yeah, it does take a whole bit of rambling around to get to a point. But then it does by the end of it, I do have some solid understanding of what I was rambling about, or what I was being serendipitous about, or what I was meditating upon. It's usually meditating upon things. Now there's different granularities to logging, and you do it, and you could also do it in an iterative fashion. So what I'm doing right now is part of an experiment that I'll like sort of reveal later on. But yeah, it does capture the serendipity aspect of things in the sense that how you iterate in your logs sort of helps you refine ideas over the longer run. Uh, so yeah, you could start with a video essay of a ramble. Like you could do these and when you're like drinking coffee between your, I don't know, workouts or whatever. So yeah, have a convenient setup ready. I have a bunch of places where I can record videos in the sense that a bunch of different yeah, camera positions. I got this one ThinkPad. I got this one Chrome box. I got a BSD Mac. Uh, all with sort of different video essay endpoints in the sense that they go to different channels and stuff, and like they are for different things. Uh, the purpose that I do video essays with is also different. Some of these I do for an audience. Some of these I do for my future self in terms of just like vlogging my thoughts over the course of time, over milestones rather than being a regular log. And some of these I do for, yeah, like in a polished manner, like presenting some thoughts or stuff. Some of these are sort of like mad scientist vlogs, as in like I'm probably breaking open something, I'm like recording my experience through it, or yeah, just like observations is what I'm logging. Uh, they are like, they might be unlisted or they might be private. If it's unlisted, it's for it's to be indexed in a particular page in a blog somewhere, or yeah, if it's private, I only share them with certain people later on. It's like, I don't know, it's better than a letter actually. Like recording a video conversation and sending it to a person is better than a letter, I bet. It's a nice mix of async conversation while keeping it sort of pretty close to real. Uh, and the delay that is deliberately induced in terms of like when you're just talking one way is like listening to a monologue, is like you could treat it as a podcast, or yeah, listen to it when you're walking or something. So that's pretty nice. That's like, there's some people who do that, as in like they just like yeah, we do like back and forth with videos. So that's yeah, video essays is it's cool. But yeah, what I'm getting to here is it gives my life a certain sense of momentum, uh certain this observability, as in like it's not just the frequency that I do it with, it's also the different modalities that I have to do these things. So it's not just video essays, it's also like a second tier of like typed blogs. So my Emacs journals. Let me pull these up. So I have a very convenient index into just like journal anytime. So that's one thing. And these go on for longer times. These are like very, very old. They go back way back. This is just like one of the archives. There's a whole lot more. So yeah, there's that. They have to be like sort of conveniently accessible. So like convenience is sort of a thing. I have a whole bunch of different sorts of journals that I carry with me. I yeah, I have like notepads and stuff as well. I mean, you probably don't see it, but then yeah, yeah, there's this stuff written. You can use these. You don't have to be like polished in the way you write. These can be sort of notes, phrases, observations about anything. Now this is like the overall what of things there might be a couple of things that I'm missing out. I don't do any sort of images. I don't do like yeah, I don't do photos. Nor I don't do like videos. It's always recollections. It is never a moving vlog. It's not a vlog in the sense that you would think of a vlog. It's a video essay. It's recollections. It's accounts. That brings us the certain benefits. So yeah, uh, it relies upon the act of forgetting. Now forgetting usually is seen as a bad thing, but then I feel it's a good thing. It prunes off what is unnecessary, and if something is really worth remembering, it comes back to you when you're like recollecting it. it's sort of it's a pretty handy knowledge distiller, the act of forgetting. So I do rely on forgetting a lot. Uh, Apart from that, yeah, I mean these are just my bare bones logs. There's a whole pipeline to all of this, in the sense that what I do after I'm done with thinking on certain thing, on meditating on certain thing. There's pipelines to like philosophizing upon them, or like further polishing the idea or whatever. But the input, the influx of ideas, it's good to log them. So what it does, it delegates the stress away of remembering things. So yeah, that's that. Sometimes I'll just like write a bunch of ideas, and I will forget that I will forget that I wrote something. And what I'll do is I'll sort of write them on pieces of paper like this. I'll crumple these, and I'll sort of throw them away on certain corner of my table, or like my workspace or whatever. So there's a whole bunch of papers like lying everywhere. And when I'm in the mood, I'll randomly pick one up, and I'll see if that's important. If that's not important, I'll throw it away. If that's important and I think I need to act on it right away, I'll act on it right away. As in, like I'll meditate upon it more, and like if I feel like it's polished enough to talk about, or if the substance worth enough to talk about, I feel inspired in the moment, I'll talk about it. If I feel like I need to defer this, I'll defer it again. I recrumple it, and like I'll throw it away again. So this physical act of not just writing the idea that you're thinking about, but also physically representing uh, your cognitive state externally is sort of a meta log, in the sense that it's giving you an idea of your logs in a more immediate manner. It's akin to reading an ebook versus reading a physical book. Uh, on a physical book, you're of course like light hits stuff. I mean, of course, light hits the ink or e-ink or whatever. Is like the pixels absorb more light, the darker pixels absorb more light, and like the white releases, and like you get a contrast and you can read letters. But the act of turning pages and seeing the progress that you've made, that sort of meta aspect of a physical book sort of changes things a little. So we can actually do that in a whole bunch of places. Uh, it's also good to have the convenience of electronic logging. So I do have a whole bunch of places where I do text, uh, convenience of accessibility, convenience of sharing it around. One more handy thing that happens when you like sort of log a lot and sort of start publishing it. Uh, yeah, publishing is also sort of a next thing that I'll talk about, in the sense that the act of publishing as well. Uh, you can publish it in a hierarchical manner. You don't need to do it. You don't need to be public about everything. You don't need to be private about everything. Uh, a lot of places have a way to sort of a lot of places, in the sense that like, a lot of publishing platforms have a way to, like, I don't know, have this granularity of distributing your content. Even just like let's just take YouTube for example. You can have public videos. You can choose to notify the public of that you're publishing something. Uh, so even in public videos, there's two types of videos. So there's like, you can choose to notify that you've published something. You can just publicize it and publish it, and like to make the video, the algorithm do its thing. So that's one. You can make the video unlisted, so people with only the link can access it. You can publish the link somewhere to a blog, so people will have the right context before they're viewing the video. That's one thing. Finally, you can have private videos, which you can just like deliberately share like to people with their email, or like just a single, like a one-off link or something or whatever. So there's a whole bunch of granularity that you can like choose to share your logs in terms of. So having this facilitation uh, gives you a very easy way of if you've like pre-thought a certain thing, you can just like send people links. You can just like send them links. I do this a whole bunch. Whenever I'm talking to people, I've already thought about this. And if you're like a good enough friend, I'll just send a link. I'll be like, here you go. It could be videos, it could be blogs, it could be whatever. Yeah, so that's that. And this is pretty convenient because like I mean everyone thinks, but then vlogging or logging or video series or just this sort of stuff also sort of helps you catch yourself in circles. So uh, you'll not catch yourself in circles in the sense that you sort of have certain sort of you have certain sort of traction in the way you're thinking of your ideas or your how you recollect the past. It keeps things real as is in the moment because you exactly carry it forward. That means writing without filtering too much. Uh, yeah, that is also sort of a nice aspect to this because you're not polishing yourself a whole bunch. You have access to your most raw self from the past, like in the moment, and you can just like go through stuff. And given the rise of LLMs and stuff, rather than generating content, put them to use to analyze your raw video essays and your old blogs and logs and stuff. They give you a very quick index of your evolution of a particular idea trajectory. So that is also something that I use from time to time. Even videos, if you publish this on like YouTube, you have they generate transcripts for you. You can just like have your own database of transcripts tracked over time in terms of like the videos that you've published. You can also have access to your blogs. And yeah, just ask an LLM to like crawl all of this and like process it and like index it in a certain manner and like query it in terms of like how's the evolution of a particular idea. So that helps you with a whole bunch of other things. So that's kind of nice. It's like sort of an evolved manner of no, I wouldn't say journaling. It's not just journaling. Evolved manner of wrestling with your own cognitive state over time is what I'll say, I guess. There's that. Uh, what else? So going beyond just video essays and logging and logging, uh, yeah. Uh, what is actually happening here is everything, by the way, is sort of symbolic algebra. Now, when I talk about symbolic algebra, I mean semiotics, in the sense that everything carries a symbolic meaning. When I'm speaking right now, it's phonetics, in the sense that you hear the phonemes in the sense, and you know these are certain words because you've been learning English for a whole while throughout your life, and yeah, you know what makes letters, what makes words. So similarly, when you see something written down, the joys of logging, you see letters. They are contrasts of pixels that make sort of shapes. You know that shape is a letter, and those letters together make a certain word, and that word certainly like sort of fires of a certain symbolic, semiotic, I don't know, symbolic sort of a firing in your brain. Also, like this is what it means, and contextually put them together, that semiotically fires off something else. So it's semiotic. So it's not just letters or like just writing or whatever. Uh, yeah, gestures sort of do it too. Uh, Similarly, like drawings can be the same thing. You could, I was doing this for a while. Uh, I used to describe my day in the format of a cave painting sort of things. So you could do that too. That was like a very interesting experience. Imagine like yeah, hypothetically imagine if you didn't know English or if you didn't know language of like if like a wild caveman who just hunted a deer or like I don't know a mammoth, and you have the blood of a mammoth right beside your fireplace and you're in a cave, and if you wanted to communicate something over the course of your I don't know life, or for your children when they see something next, you just like draw stuff with blood on the walls of a cave, and you're semiotically conveying something. You could draw it as stick figures or yeah, be more artistic or whatever. What matters more is you're semiotically conveying something. So it is not the quality that I'm asking you to focus on. It's more about the semiotic conveyance of something and doing it more frequently and converging upon your own style. Uh, yeah, converging upon your own style is something you will only get to if you do it a lot more frequently. A lot of people might I don't know do captions on Instagram, or they might do their own personal private journal entries. It need not even be public, but then it's yeah, it's something. I am sort of a tech person, so I like my things to be indexed and like be accessible over a whole bunch of places. So that's what I do personally. I also have a philosophical side to me, and like I carry around like my writing stuff with me. Uh, I like write in places. A good thing about carrying stuff like this in places is like you can pretend to be whatever. I I sort of like occasionally pretend to be a writer where I'm in a new place where when people don't know me. Uh, if you're in a scenic place or like on a hike or something, I don't know, on a vacation or something, you just find a boulder somewhere, sit up there, and like pretend you're like writing something interesting. I have actually done this, like just like actually just like write. I was actually just writing that I'm pretending to be a writer right now is what I was writing. And when people came by, they out of interest and curiosity, asked me like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm like writing." I was like, I'm a writer and stuff, and you cook up things. So the prop that you carry with yourself, like sort of with the act of logging, sort of gives you very interesting uh, icebreaker with a whole bunch of people. And yeah, so that's that. I will not get into that. That's a separate video in terms of like lying about what you are uh, for fun in a harmless manner. I'll talk about that in a separate video and like just like faking professions and stuff. So that's something else. So I'll get into that some in some other video. But yeah, uh, what this all does is uh, is is externalizes your cognitive state. So what happens is if you sort of think a lot, I mean everyone thinks a lot, uh, it sort of makes it easier to observe your own self over time, and that is sort of nice in the sense that you'll not notice it right away, I guess. But then once you sort of build a momentum and you start accumulating text around you on walls and stuff, so you could also have sticky notes everywhere. I have them everywhere. I cannot just show them right now because like my setup is kind of fixed. Uh, yeah, and I have like crumpled papers like this, the one I threw just like yeah everywhere as well. These sort of things they sort of externalize your cognitive state. And this is a meta hobby in terms of just being present and aware about all the other things in your life. So it's like a meta hobby. It fits into anything. Whatever you're doing, if you're running experiments or whatever, if you're like a power lifter, so logging your lifts or like logging how your particular joint tweaks when you do a particular variation of a particular exercise or what particular cue you found out to be working well for you. Uh, Logging, so now I sort of exactly know what I was doing like some days ago, how I felt in a particular way, how much L-theanine or caffeine I had in my bloodstream, uh, how what my overhead press was at what particular set did I feel something tweak, or what did I do differently that made me do something else or whatever. Just logging like this is a sort of all this information. I mean, yeah, all this data that you create, you can choose to do whatever with it later on. It's nice in terms of tractability. So all the hobbies that you have, I maintain a certain nootropic stack. So it's a whole bunch of nutraceuticals and pharmaceuticals. Pharmaceuticals occasionally, all researched and stuff. Yeah. Uh, Yeah, that I log about in terms of experiments. You can run your experiments and log about them and talk about them like a mad scientist. Uh, the other day, I opened up a router to observe its internals and like see the state of things and everything. And like I disassembled it and assembled it on a vlog while observing it firsthand. Now that's a private video because yeah, probably the world is not interested in that. But that's the thing. Anytime I talk to someone in the future, I can just send them that video. That's it. It's like I've done this before, and like you don't need to recall or like rethink some things. A lot of times, a lot of these video essays, I go back and watch them myself, and like I myself noticed that I used to think so differently about things, or yeah, things were this is what was interesting for me right now. This is how something has evolved. Uh, so yeah, having multiple modalities for you to like around you to do that is pretty interesting. Just that. I guess that's it. Am I out of serendipity? Yeah, I guess that's it. So yeah, it's the way I'd like you to think about this is put this in an aesthetic. Put this in a sort of an aesthetic in the sense that the way I personally do it is like I imagine there's been a zombie apocalypse. I'm a survivor. I've been out there hunting zombies, and I maintain a journal. And I observe things and I write about it just because that keeps me sane. So I see all these zombies around me, and to maintain my sanity, I do sort of like I move around with a log in a whole bunch in like different modalities and stuff, and like I log for I don't know the other survivors in the world, the other non-zombies. Sometimes if I find an interesting friend or whatever, I can share my journals and like yeah, I can be like how to kill this particular strain of zombie effectively or something. I can like publish those sort of logs as well. So that's how I go about my logs or the act of logging, the joys of logging. Uh, yeah, I guess that's it. I am out of serendipity. This was SaaSx1B. Uh, if you want to check out like what all other modalities of logs I have, the video series and like whatever. Uh, I run the SaaS. This is a serendipity as a service on Conware Industries. I have the conware.com blog where I might occasionally uh, write a blog about cognitive stuff, metacognition and stuff. I have the bitmage.com. Initially, the bitmage.com had everything, so I used to write everything there. But now it's like got technical scrolls and stuff, and it's like stuff that I'm exploring at the moment, uh, engineering related. I have sort of a techno ramble scenario going on the Bitmage YouTube. So that's like long philosophical breakdowns of tooling or philosophies, tech philosophies that I wonder about or whatever. Uh, I have a whole bunch of like hard journals that are lying around everywhere that I might be, I don't know, writing different things in. It could be like meditation upon meditation. It's like very meta or abstract. That could be one. One could be just like a very physical in the sense that like you can't see these because of yeah. One could be a very physical. What do you say? Hardcore down to the ground, like all hands on deck, sort of like a field journal where I write about the minor details on like timings of my dosages of nootropics or like what I'm doing, or that sort of stuff. Yeah, yeah. Uh, there's a whole bunch of private video essays, so that's kind of it actually. Uh, is this joyful? Yes, but then it takes convergence. There's a whole bunch of electronic ways I journal as well for my studying purposes and stuff. So I do a whole bunch of yeah, you know what, actually like go to the bitmage.com. That's where I have my org room and Emacs ecosystem. So all the minor journaling ecosystem that I showed you, I have a whole bunch of electronic journaling modalities there as well. All synced across Git repositories and yeah, on multiple systems. So that's it for now. This was Raj. See you in the next one.